If you've been watching social media closely, then we're pretty sure you're aware that former kickboxer Andrew Tate got banned from several social media channels because of his prejudice against women. To this, podcaster Joe Rogan says Andrew Tate effed up, despite giving good lessons because of his misogynistic views. What else did Rogan have to say about Tate? Keep watching today's video to find out more. Just recently, podcaster Joe Rogan commented on Andrew Tate's removal from social media, saying the former kickboxer messed up by being misogynistic. During the most recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, Brian Callen, Eddie Bravo, and Brendan Schaub joined the UFC commentators to discuss the most recent suspension of Andrew Tate. Tate's narrative made sense according to Rogan, and he wasn't shocked that it resonated with a younger audience despite his misogynistic attitude. According to Rogan, Tate effed up with the misogynistic stuff. The podcaster asserted that he wouldn't have been deplatformed if he had only used pro-male and pro-accountability rhetoric instead of the misogynistic stuff. The 35-year-old provided a positive outlook in terms of motivation and ambition, Rogan said, saying, quote, "If you just concentrate entirely on your feelings, you're not going to get anywhere, and that's true. That's a good lesson for people to learn." Rogan continued, "That's what's resonating with young people is that Tate plays part of it like a character, and half of it is a real-world champion kickboxer who's a hard man and doesn't buy any petty crap." Rogan has a point though, since Andrew Tate amassed an impressive social media following by sharing his views on multiple social media platforms. Although Rogan does not embrace all of Tate's ideals, he does believe that the world needs someone like him. Many of Tate's opinions have been called misogynistic and destructive to his young male audience. On the podcast, Rogan stated that toxic masculinity meant, "Oh, you mean the men that shaped the globe?" He went on to say that males are required even if one doesn't think they are needed right now. Rogan even said that China's making them more manly and that Russia now has them. Schaub, another guest on Rogan's show, added that despite the uproar, Tate ought to have a voice and shouldn't have been banned from social media. When asked if Tate would ever be invited to appear on his podcast, the podcaster replied, "It's a conversation." The British American has subsequently switched to the free speech podcasting service Rumble, with which Rogan was offered a $100 million agreement. The internet personality's power could be severely limited in his opinion by the platform. Now, let's talk about Andrew Tate and his forced move to Rumble following his social media ban. How is the former kickboxer holding up? Keep on watching to find out more. After being banned from Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube last month, the king of toxic masculinity has announced a shift to the alternative video platform Rumble, which has experienced a surge in popularity, but experts predict his influence will probably continue to be limited. Data gathered by digital intelligence company SimilarWeb shows that daily active users on Rumble increased 45.3% over the prior week during the week of August 22nd, when Tate announced a max exodus to the platform. The former kickboxer, who had become a social media star, claims the platform would give him the freedom to keep producing videos, some of which have been dubbed very misogynistic by women's groups. However, according to social media experts, controversial people banned from popular websites frequently choose to relaunch on an alternate platform like Rumble, and many of them struggle to maintain the same level of prominence they once did. In case you missed it, Tate's provocative, frequently insulting opinions erupted into anger this summer, which captivated social media for months. However, he lost contact with his sizable fan base in late August when major platforms suspended his accounts for breaking their rules about hazardous content. The most infamous videos featuring Tate make statements like, quote, "Women are the property of men," and "Women carry some blame for being sexually assaulted." As for Tate, he has refused accusations that he has misogynistic beliefs and charged that his critics are misrepresenting outdated videos. The influencer declared that he will switch to Rumble in a Fox News interview with Tucker Carlson shortly after being barred from using popular platforms. One of the only websites that hosts a notorious conspiracy theorist, Alex Jones, is the streaming service, which bills itself as immune to cancel culture. Rumble's website saw a spike in visitors around this period. Rumble has noted consistent increases in activity on the platform for some time, but his content on the platform saw a marked increase in engagement when he was forbidden from publishing on other social network sites and made his announcement of his transition to the platform. Up until July of this year, Tate's Rumble videos sometimes had significantly fewer views than 5,000. Episode 13 of his live podcast, Emergency Meeting, received merely 4,265 views. On August 26th, according to an archived version of his Rumble profile, although the same stream on YouTube had 473,000 views by August 20th. The following episode received more than 680,000 views on Rumble before the ban prevented it from being aired on YouTube. The Tate's Getter page, the number of followers increased comparably. Getter is a text-based social media site, unlike Rumble, although it was built on the same principles of rejecting political censorship and promoting free speech. The earliest copy of Tate's Getter page that can be accessed through the Internet Archive was created on August 20th, which is after he had become well-known online and had his accounts removed from some platforms. Tate had just over 4,000 followers at this time, despite being well-known online. His number of followers has risen to 90,000 in just 2 weeks. However, analysts claim that this occurrence is prevalent among controversial people who have been excluded from popular venues. According to Matt Navarra, a social media expert and market analyst, Tate's case is well-trodden path by controversial online creators. Tate has discovered Rumble just like Alex Jones and others did, and Rumble has discovered him. Navarra thinks the two are a match made in controversy heaven. Tate may draw a sizable audience to Rumble, but according to Navarra, it's not equivalent to the volume of audience one can draw on sites he's banned from. The Center for Countering Digital Hate, a group that fights against hate and misinformation online, echoes this idea. Imran Ahmed, the CEO of the Center for Countering Digital Hate, explained in a statement that although these influencers may move some of their following to alternative platforms after being banned from more popular ones, their research and top of academics show that they almost always fail to regain both the following and wider content reach they had on websites with billions of users and recommendation engines like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Despite his removal from social media platforms, Andrew Tate's message has been spread throughout. Of course, a lot of parents are concerned about how their children and teenagers will deal with this information. But according to psychologists, teens don't share the same ideas as his. Jordan Foster, a professional psychologist and expert on online safety, advises parents and guardians not to become alarmed over Andrew Tate's use of social media. Parents and school communities are concerned about the extent of which ideas are being spread among teenagers, and several schools have sent advice to parents on how to discuss him with their kids after hearing pupils quote him. Foster argued that although Tate's ideas were becoming generally accepted, this did not always mean that his opinions were being supported. It all boils down to how social media algorithms operate. Foster said to Nadia Mutsopoulos on ABC Radio Perth, she claims that the indignation, rather than people agreeing with Tate, is what caused his popularity to garner so much attention. Foster emphasized that this issue is that because of the understandable outrage caused by what he is saying, it has gained traction online and Andrew Tate has been receiving more attention. Foster continued by saying that despite receiving several calls from teachers and parents who are deeply concerned, the majority of the children she had spoken to disagree with Tate's claims. Because of this, Foster concluded that our community has to take a step back and focus on the kids, who are generally doing okay. Foster advises parents to merely ask their kids whether they have seen Tate's content and what they think of it. She claims that many parents believe they don't want to associate his name with them if they haven't already heard of it, but they probably have, even if it's just in passing at school. Do you want to be the one to inform them positively, even if they are aware who it is, or do you prefer that they hear about it from their friends? Foster emphasized that it is extremely vital and empowering for parents to take control of that story. She adds that it would be worthwhile to have a further discussion with any children who either concur with his thoughts or are repeating them as a joke, since they don't realize how serious they are. And that's everything you need to know so far about the latest on controversial former kickboxer and influencer Andrew Tate. So what do you think? Will Tate continue to spread his gospel on Rumble? Let us know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on for more videos like these. See you again next time.